welcome back. It's the height of summer in the UK, although you'd be hard pushed to believe it when you've seen some of our weather recently. It's been really, really rotten and cold and miserable. So I thought I'd cheer you up with some of my best beauty buys for the height of summer. These are things that are either about to be launched, have been launched over the last, say, 6 to 8 weeks, and I've been testing them out and they're amazing. There are some things basically from top to toe, and there's one final warning at the end. Hold on, because I've fallen out of love with something that I've been telling you to buy for absolutely years. So now a warning, as that famous movie says. I'm not de-influencing at all. There are too many beautiful things. And let me start by saying that this video is partly sponsored by Loccitane, who, if you follow me on Instagram, will know took me down to Provence to meet their amazing suppliers. We met some of the lavender suppliers and the almond suppliers, and I created 2 videos. I had a drone photographer with me who's now going to be on my rider. He's not, I don't have a rider. Just basically capturing video of us all. There were about 15 of us on the trip, walking through these amazing, beautiful Provençal groves and fields. It was just absolutely magical. If you go over to my Instagram, I'll show you the videos. Anyway, what I did was I met 2 of the suppliers there, their lavender and their almond suppliers. And obviously I've used Loccitane for years. Everybody knows that I also love their sister brand, Arborian. And what I've always loved about Loccitane is that in 2008, they introduced these. These are their eco refills. You must have seen them. I'm always going on about them in my shopping videos. Whenever I see them, I always give a shout out to Loccitane because they were the first company, I believe, to have launched eco refills. 2008, that is 15 years ago. That is so long ago, so ahead of the game. And I've always loved them and I've always used them. And in fact, I usually fill this, and this is their aluminium eco refill. It's the one you can reuse time and time again. You can use it for hand soaps and body lotions and shampoos and everything basically. But what I tend to do is I tend to put these back in the original bottles. So here, for example, is the almond shower oil, the absolute classic. If your skin is dry and you want something that's really soothing and calming, that's the one to get. And then essentially when you get to the bottom of it, let me make sure I choose the right one. Yes, I have chosen the right one. You refill it with that. Even though that was so ahead of the game in terms of eco refills, Loccitane have gone above and beyond and they have replaced them. And launching this month, look at these really clever refills. Do you know that there is one, I believe there's one supplier in the world that uses completely recycled and recyclable plastic? And look at this. If you see them, they're amazing. They're super thin, absolutely incredible, really stylish, actually easier to use than the original eco ones because they weren't recyclable. So this is made of recycled plastic and it's completely recyclable. Now available in these, and these are hitting counter later this month, and I just absolutely love them. For me, my favorites are obviously Vervain Lemon Verbena. How many times have I gone on about that? I love the soaps, I love the body washes. The only fragrance soap I can use from top to toe without any irritation because it's so loaded with beautiful emollients, really lovely. So that is just the smell of heaven for me. It's the smell of sherbet. I'm always talking about how it's one of my favourite fragrances. I was sent a Christmas gift when I was a child and it's locked into my memory as being the smell of happiness. I love the smell of lemon verbena. And the almond oil, if you've got dry skin, if you've got sensitive skin, you can shave with it. It's just really, really beautiful. So congratulations, Loccitane. This video is partly sponsored by Loccitane, but I've absolutely loved them for ages. I'll put all the details of all the products down below. But for me, to be invited on a trip where I'm talking about basically the ecology of beauty and the eco credentials of beauty and biodiversity and sustainability meant that I had to make sure that the company I was going with really lived up to their promises, and Loccitane do. What else have we got that's new and exciting? Well, I am still in love with this. This is another company actually that is now doing much lighter weight bottles that are recyclable, and this is Bare by Head and Shoulders. And I'll be really honest with you, I went down to interview Claudia Winkleman. Again, that video is on my Instagram, and I was a little bit sort of, am I going to love this or not? I have used this shampoo pretty much all of the time since I had my Brazilian blow dry, and yes, it is sulfate free. and it's just incredible. If you want a really good high street shampoo, this is the one to go for. There is Pure Clean, which is really great in the height of summer when your scalp is slightly oily. And then there's another version that's more gentle on your hair if your hair is coloured. I can essentially shampoo my hair with this and still brush my hair without any conditioner in it. Now I do have a Brazilian blow dry, but that is at the moment, my #1 sulfate-free shampoo that I'm using. And look, so it's that really similar. This is the future of beauty, these really fine plastics that are recyclable and use so much less plastic to begin with. What else have we got? I've got a cleanser that I've fallen in love with, and it's this one. Now, you know that recently I've fallen in love with a lot of balm cleansers. I was introduced to Nature Republic by my lovely friend, Dr. Christine Hall. Well, this is the Geek and Gorgeous one. This is the Geek and Gorgeous Mighty Melt, and I love this for summer, and I'm going to show you this because it's nearly empty now, because it's runnier than traditional waxy balm cleansers, which means it's lighter weight, which means it's much nicer when it's humid. Even though it's been raining in the UK, it's been really hot and humid. That gets rid of every scrap of makeup, and it is now, I mean, actually, I have to say, Geek and Gorgeous have not put a foot wrong. I really love that product. So that is Mighty Melt by Geek and Gorgeous. And here's my warning. I was in filming at Primark with Jo Jones in one of my most recent videos before she went off on holiday for the summer. These are the PS3 microfiber facial cleansing cloths. They're not the same. I have been telling people to buy these for years. They used to come in packs of 3, and they were bright pink, and they were really plush and really well made. These are a massive, massive, massive disappointment. They're much finer, much fluffier. They shed much more, which means they're worse for the environment. And I wouldn't recommend buying the Primark PS microfiber cloths anymore now. I am now on the hunt for a replacement for my brilliant Primark microfiber cloths, and I hear that B&M is the place to go. So I'm going to go shopping at the weekend. I'm going to go down to B&M. Now, talking of B&M, who remembers using Revlon Flex? Revlon have relaunched Flex, and they haven't called it Flex, and it's exclusively at B&M. And this is the Extra Care. I tried the classic range, and it was a little bit too stripping for my hair, but the Extra Care is very nice. Now, I have a question for you. If you go to B&M and you buy this, and it's super reasonably priced, I mean, look at the size of them. They're amazing. Stick them in. They're brilliant for the whole family. Stick them in the shower. Do you think it smells the same? They say it smells the same. I think it smells a little bit more powdery than it used to. I think it was a little bit more zingy and citrusy before. To me, it smells a little bit more powdery. Now, it's not surprising. I used Flex in the 1970s. A lot of the fragrance ingredients are now no longer available because they weren't really good and sustainable for the environment. So I suspect it smells 90% there, but not quite 100% there. But I want you to go out and check it out. Anyway, really reasonably priced, supersized products. The Extra Care, I think, is probably better for coloured hair. That is Revlon Flex, but they haven't called it Flex. They've just called it Revlon Extra Care. Why not call it Flex? And why make the shampoo that colour? Why not make them both that colour and really go for the fact? This is interesting, right? Why not just really put them in the original packaging, try and make the fragrance as close as possible, and then appeal to my generation who was super, super, super loyal and would just travel to any B&M at any part of the country to find this. I suspect it's because they think that the women my age are not that loyal and wouldn't be bothered to track it down, but we really would. We grew up with Flex, we love it. Next thing you know, they'll be launching, well, not Revlon, but they'll be launching that weird apple flavoured shampoo. Who remembers that? It wasn't flavoured, it was fragranced, of course. What else have I got here? Well, I am madly in love with Rhode skincare. Generally, I'm quite dismissive of celebrity skincare, but I absolutely love Rhode. I did an item on this morning about celebrity skincare, and this was the one that was most interesting to me because it's obviously Hailey Bieber, as she now is. And I thought it was very interesting that a young person with relatively problem-free skin decided just to do barrier function peptide products. And I really love it. The peptide glaze I'm using most days now, although I do love to layer on my peptides in the summer. And this is the Barrier Restore Cream, and it's a great little size. So if you're thinking about traveling and you're wondering what to pack, that's a perfect little barrier repair cream for the entire family. I know she's famous for her peptide lip products, but I only like the unfragranced one. I just really I love the packaging. I love the idea that they're barrier repair and they're peptide based. And I just think she deserves to go from strength to strength. And I hear, because I met the PR for that brand the other day, I hear she's going into makeup, which will be very interesting because I think it's going to be a makeup skincare hybrid. So what else have I fallen in love with? Well, I don't know about you, but in summer, I want minimum fuss, maximum effect. and I'm really loving Pro Shine. I mentioned this in a feature in the Times. It's created by a makeup artist, and it's a solid moisturising stick, and it smells like heaven. It smells like a typical eau de toilette, citrusy and herbal, that you get when you land in somewhere like the south of France or Turkey or Greece. It's beautiful, it smells amazing. You can add moisture and shine to places like clavicles, but actually where it really comes onto its own is when you suddenly look down and you've got dry heels, dry legs, dry elbows, things like that. And instead of having to put on a gloopy old lotion, you just put that on, you fragrance your skin, you moisturize your skin, and it's just a beautiful hydrating balm, absolutely loaded with plant oils. It smells like heaven. That's a great one to take on holiday with you. You won't need a fragrance either. It smells beautiful. It really, really does. And then finally, I'm going to talk about a little hair hack for going on holiday. I don't know about you, but I obviously have had a Brazilian blow dry, so my hair is slightly less problematic. But normally when I travel at this time of year, my hair is an absolute nightmare. So I never travel anywhere without things like this. Now that is obviously just a classic band, and that's a band with a little fake flower on the end. And that's because what I do is I go out, I have my hair blow dried and it looks beautiful, and then within 5 minutes it's a floofy frizzy mess. And so what I tend to do is this. See how easy that is to make that look chic? So basically I could even tuck the ends in, but I have to do that the whole time. But what I end up with is bits like this. So, you know, the layers, the sort of bits that stick out, and I never know what to do with them until Larry King created this. Now, if you interview any hairdresser and you watch him work, you will find that he will have a toothbrush in his kit. And the toothbrush is for getting little sort of fine flyaways, especially if they are styling hair for macro lenses. You see every little flyaway bit. Well, this is the first time I've ever seen a hairstylist create everything you need. So what you end up with is a little super flexible brush and a comb, and then the cream that you need. And you put a little bit, I would put it in the palm of my hand, you brush the brush through it, and then you comb your bits back here, like that, tuck them behind your ear, and then with the brush you go through the top and all the fine flyaways go. I just think that's absolutely genius. It's called the Flyaway Kit, and it's by Larry King, who's a celebrity hairstylist. And I first saw it in Harvey Nicks when I was filming there, and I hadn't seen it before. And I've since put it in the Times, and I just think it's incredibly clever because, yes, you could use a normal toothbrush and any sort of styling cream, anything that's sort of designed to calm split ends, but I just think if it's in one single kit like that, you get everything you need. And I just think sometimes it's thinking outside the box and thinking what has never been created before that makes it easier for people to look sort of smart and sleek on holiday. I mean, this is much easier now that I've got my Brazilian blow dry, but otherwise normally I'd have a halo of little broken off bits. So well done, Larry King. They are all of my new and improved and disappointing new buys for the height of summer. Hopefully I've chosen things that make your life easier, because the whole point of beauty in summer is to be minimum effort, maximum results. Get out and enjoy the decent weather. Come on, August, bring us some sunshine. I'll put all the details of all the products down below.